Hi there, Robert here. Hope everyone is safe and well. Welcome to my new YouTube channel, Easy to Grow Food at Home. How did I get started? Well, I'm not a gardener, but at the beginning of the summer, I was outside speaking to some neighbours and the conversation got to how we're feeding children at school 3 meals a day because their parents cannot afford to buy food, and how some of my neighbours are struggling to pay the bills. And also with the cost of food, I was thinking, if we could go back in time and bring back what we had during the war in England, was Dig for Victory. Now, I was born just after the war. And this Dig for Victory program was in place way through the 50s. And what it was, quite easy. Streets. Each family would grow something. One would grow tomatoes, one would grow cucumbers, one would grow potatoes, etc., etc., etc. And then what you would do is share the food out. And this kept England going for a long time during the war and after the war. So I thought to myself, if I could bring something back as simple as that, if it give families just a little bit of saving and provide them with tomatoes or potatoes or whatever, it would be a little bit of a help. And I started with tomatoes, and there's a tomato plant there that's got a little bit wild, but under normal circumstances, you would have 6 or 7 pots of tomatoes so you can share them out. And then I started, you know what, let's do some research online. I've done some research online, and people were making grow buckets. Now, a grow bucket is quite simple, just a food container that is food grade, and I purchased these from Lowe's and Home Depot. They are food grade buckets. You're able to grow food in. You don't want to use buckets that's had detergent or something like that. So you get a food grade bucket, and you can fill it with earth, have a few holes in the bottom, and it's like a pot, a normal pot, but these are a bit different. These are grow buckets. And what I've done, I started to make grow buckets. I have one bucket at the bottom, and at the top I've got a black and white bucket just to show people how to do this. And the white bucket at the top holds the soil, and the black bucket at the bottom holds the water and the nutrients in the water. And the top bucket has holes in it, and you put a towel, a tea towel, or anything that wicks the water from the bottom bucket into the soil. That's all it is. And there's an overflow tube, and when I've got 3 inches of water, it overflows. But I've got this bucket indoors, and this is, there it is, in the corner. It's an indoor bucket, which it doesn't have the overflow tube. So where you see the funnel, that tube goes way down through the top bucket into the bottom bucket, into the water. So it's all I have is a stick and measure the water level. Simple as that. And I'm growing indoors. So I started to make grow buckets. You can see the garage filled with grow buckets. That's what I've done. I've got the neighbours interested in growing some things indoors, and I've expanded from there. So what I've gone is from grow buckets. I've taken many hours on YouTube videos. I've purchased a tremendous amount of information on hydroponics, and I thought, how can I get into hydroponics and help people grow low-cost food? And we've come up with a pop bottle, simple pop bottle. I've just cut off the top, I've turned it upside down, I've put a little sponge in the bottom, and I've got the seed growing on cotton wool, and once it's started, it's feeding in the water. This is growing quite well. So you don't need to spend a lot of money on growing anything. And this is a margarine container. Yes, I've got some clay pebbles. They absorb water. And what I do is soak the clay pebbles in water for about an hour. Completely. You empty half of it out, so you got half a tub of water, and sprinkle your seeds on top. Now, because the clay pebbles are wet, the seeds will stick onto the clay pebbles and grow. And this is a couple of weeks. Anyone can do this. Then you take this out, and then you can place them in bottles, or if you want to go to the next level, you can go to a hydroponic unit. I purchased this hydroponic unit, which is over the bank. And also, if you want to make something, here we have it here, if we can see it. That little container, and we have this seedlings in cotton wool. So you can grow them in cotton wool. And you haven't got to spend a lot of money in growing food indoors. And hydroponic growing, you can grow a far lot more food in less space than using the soil method. But myself, I'm using both methods because this is a grow pack. These are pups, which are actually damp, and they swell up. They're compressed and they're damp, they swell up, and just put a few seeds and they grow. And when they grow, you can transplant them into bottles or into a unit or something like that. So let's have a look at the seeds. Now, this is a lettuce. It cost me, if you can get it in there, just over $3. And can we read it? We got 950 seeds at 96% germination. If it was 50%, you nearly got 500 lettuces. More than enough. And you can grow them indoors during the winter because the winter here is brutal and you can't grow anything outdoors. So you can grow these indoors. You can have your grow buckets indoors. You can grow tomatoes. You can grow peppers. You can grow potatoes. Anyone can do it. So like the video and follow me, and I've got other ideas where you can grow a lot of food indoors, and also when the weather breaks and it comes back to the summer, how we can grow a lot more outside, and it's easy to do. God bless, stay safe and look after each other, and also keep growing. Thank you.